Hi guys, Ben Harris here. I thought I'd show you the second half of my record collection, my early sort of pickups. I've got some more Iron Maiden coming, I think some of my favourite records, some more obscure stuff in here as well. Maybe some FX Twin and some more indie sort of rock and that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, none of this is going to be in alphabetical order because I've literally just got to extract the record case. I've not had time to sort of sort them out. But yeah, here goes. Right, start off with one of my favourite albums of all time. And well, from one of my favourite bands of all time. That's Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. And this is continuing on from the remastered range they did a couple of years ago. The limited edition picture discs, you know, cut from the remasters, so I definitely have to get this one. I've got it on CD anyway, but yeah, being one of my favourite records of all time and my favourite album covers, I just couldn't say no to this. I had to get every single one. So that's that one. Another Iron Maiden record, and one of my favourite Maiden records, not quite, but probably in my top 4 maybe. And that is the Ultimate Powerslave. Again, part of the same range of reissues they did a couple of years ago. Brilliant artwork. They've sort of readjusted the contrast on the album covers as well, so they look nice and sharp. Great collection pieces. Another underrated but really good, not quite as heavy but amazing record. That's Iron Maiden Summer in Time. Not my personal favourite from their 80s period, but some cracking songs on there to be honest. With Alexander the Great and Wasted Years, two of my favourite Maiden tracks. Again, part of the same reissue range. Again, another album I've already got on CD but I had to pick up on vinyl. That's Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Which is, yeah, I think it's just collector's edition blue vinyl. I don't really know how collectible it is, but you know, it just looks nice. It sounds really good on vinyl. So I had to get it. One of my favourite albums of all time, by one of my favourite bands. Again, I'm not a big fan of live albums, but being a collectionist of Iron Maiden, I couldn't go missing Life After Death. One of the best live albums of all time in my opinion. Again, it's a picture disc from the same sort of remastered issue. Yeah. I think this is got another record which is a bit of an obscure pickup. This was a Record Store Day release, I believe 2014 maybe, 2015 maybe at the latest. And it's just a compilation of Sub Pop records. From the record label Sub Pop, obviously, with loads of independent bands on here, bands that most people have never heard of, but yeah, some good sort of indie, grungy stuff on there. Celebrating 25 years of Sub Pop, there we go. And this is on a nice sort of marble arched, grey and white coloured vinyl, so yeah, to pick up some great bands on there. Really worth checking out. It might be a bit difficult to see this, but this was a Black Friday limited edition release of Queens of the Stone Age Like Clockwork. Can't really see the cover, but it's basically the Like Clockwork cover just embossed in black really. And this was a Black Friday pickup. Amazing album, one of my favourite Queens of the Stone Age albums of all time, and to be honest I had to pick it up. I had it on CD initially, but when I saw this in the limited edition sort of black heavy duty vinyl, I had to get it. I've still got the CD which I play on the car and stuff like that, but yeah, didn't really intend picking this up on vinyl, but it's such a good record and I listened to it so much on release that, you know, why not? Another obscure one, a band called Earth, Angels of Darkness, Demons and Light, which is, yeah, sort of a Southern Lord record, but it's not very heavy. It's like progressive folk, more in the style of Jethro Tull, Camel, yeah, that sort of stuff really, the Canterbury sort of folk stuff that a lot of the guys in the 70s were doing in Britain. That's a nice picture disc. Definitely worth checking out if you're a big fan of progressive folk rock. Yeah, great album, underrated band. Another progressive piece here from the band Focus, and this was their last album. signed by the band themselves. I saw them live a couple of years ago at a little Tivoli theatre locally, and they had these in the foyer, reasonably pricey on heavy duty vinyl, already pre-signed, so I thought I had to get it. Really enjoyed the show. So yeah, 2012 this is. Don't know what the name. It doesn't say the name of the album, but I think Focus X or something. But yeah, great instrumental prog rock. Another Sabbath-esque band here. They're a band from Britain actually, and this I picked this up sort of taking a bit of a chance on it to seen it in a record store a few years ago, and that's Black Moth, The Killing Jar. Great British heavy metal band. I think they're quite young as well, but they sound just like, Sabbath in the 70s. Really good band, worth checking out if you're a big fan of, traditional sort of classic British heavy metal, really. Fantastic record. Something else that is a bit obscure, well, not obscure, but I do like a bit of Daft Punk, to be honest, and when this came out I listened to it quite a lot. The production on it's amazing, and through vinyl it just sounds beautiful, nice and dynamic. That's the classic Random Access Memories from a few years ago. Some great songs on there. I quite like the track Get Lucky for a sort of indie disco pop song, but I think some of the tracks on here that weren't singles were just as good as the main release itself, so yeah, I had to pick this up. More traditional classic prog. King Crimson's Lizard, one of the few King Crimson albums I really like enough to buy. The other two being 21st Century Schizoid Man and what's it called, Red. So yeah, fantastic King Crimson album, fantastic sort of traditional medieval English looking sort of artwork, I guess. Yeah, classic Robert Fripp. And the man, the myth, the legend that is Aphex Twin. The classic Richard James album. Fantastic progressive, weird electronic intelligence dance music, what they call it. Yeah, fantastic album. Got a blues album here now. This is a bit of a blind pickup after I've hearing a few of his tracks on YouTube, and that's Dr. John's In the Right Place, very reminiscent of sort of Joe Bonamassa, that kind of stuff, Eric Clapton. Yeah, I think the guy's been making music since the 70s as well. Yeah, this is a reissue of the 73 album, In the Right Place. Reissued on 180 gram vinyl. I think this is blue as well. Yeah, sounds fantastic on record, nice little package, fantastic artwork, very underrated guitar player. Right. Another one that I think was a record store day pickup, and this is Husker Du's Candy Apple Grey. I didn't intend to pick this up on the day, but I saw it there, and I do quite like a bit of Bob Mould, and Husker Du and that sort of stuff. When I saw this reissued, it was from an era where vinyl wasn't really the thing to collect, in the early 90s. This is sort of like mid-80s, this one, but yeah, my favourite Husker Du album. Very hard to get a good copy on original vinyl, so the reissue just looked great. Sounds really good as well. Fantastic album, very underappreciated songwriter in my opinion. And continuing on with the whole indie rock sort of momentum, I've got Guided by Voices 2014 release, Motivational Jumpsuit. Again, Rob Pollard from GBV, just a genius, anything he does is sort of out there and a bit wacky. Very hard rock, very out there, but experimental and left field at the same time. Another GBV release. That's The Bears for Lunch, which I think came out the same sort of time. Yeah, it's come out a couple of years before Motivational Jumpsuit, I think. 2012, but yeah, some good tracks on there. Just classic Rob Pollard. of good classic indie rock release, and that's Steve Mason's Monkey's Minds in the Devil's Time. Great indie rock record. What year was this? I think this must have been 2003, this album, but yeah, brilliant. Very underappreciated British songwriter. Some hardcore American punk, Off, which I picked up a few years ago. Yeah, I have to be in a pretty particular mood to listen to this, but yeah, great up there, sort of 2-minute hardcore punk songs. If you know, in that sort of mood, I think it's a super group. It's got members of Black Flag, Circle Jerks, so yeah, great hard hitting record. You know, if you're in a mood, you want to fancy a bit of hardcore, immediate sort of punk. Brilliant album. Another one from one of my favourite indie bands of all time. That was a Manic Street Preachers Rewind the Film. I bought this after listening to the single from it, Rewind the Film, and saw them live on this tour. Very underappreciated album in my opinion. Despite, you know, falling in love with them because they were sort of, I don't know, 90s indie alt rock punk band. Considering this is mostly just a pretty much full on acoustic album, it's one of my favourite albums of 2013. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to their release this year, so hopefully that's going to be just as good. Bit of progressive metal. That's Opeth's Morning Rise. Again, one of my first records. I think I bought this on a record store day release. I saw it, and just because I liked Opeth, I saw the quality of the remaster. I was like, I've got to get this. Not my favourite Opeth records. You know, the production's not quite as good because it's pre My Arms Your Hirsch, you know, Backwater Park, that era. But yeah, fantastic album. It's on a nice sort of grey and white marble effect vinyl, heavy duty. It's a nice gatefold. Yeah, I had to get it pretty much because it's Opeth, you know, you can't go wrong. Some instrumental rock. Mogwai's Mr. Beast, which I bought in an independent record store in Bournemouth, which I think is now closed down, but yeah, one of my favourite Mogwai albums. Yeah, just had to get it really. I didn't have any instrumental rock, you know, ambient rock on vinyl at the time that I bought this, and as soon as I saw it in the record store, I had to pick it up there and then. Another Iron Maiden live record. There's a Classic Maiden England '88, which is another limited edition double picture disc. Again, not a big fan of live albums, you know, had this been many other bands I probably wouldn't have bothered getting it, but I'm a Maiden collectionist, and yeah, great piece. I've listened to it a few times. Great album, you know, some of their best hits on this one, and fantastic tour. Right, that is it for now. I'm planning on doing a part 3 soon, which will be more recent sort of pickups and stuff like that. I've got, I think there's some stuff coming out that I'm planning on picking up soon. I know Paradise Lost, Hosts I'm planning on picking up. I'm considering the new Judas Priest. They're a bit of a hit or miss band for me, but I may pick up the new album after giving it a spin on Spotify. Yeah, and I think I might pick up the new Porcupine Tree Fear of a Blank Planet remaster and give that a go as well. So like and subscribe. If there's any bands you want me to check out or anything you want to recommend, feel free to comment, and I'll see you soon.